Hey, all right, we are live. Hey, everybody, and welcome. It's Amanda Moxley, and I'm so grateful you all are here.
Of like passion, purpose, and with excitement and energy, and pursuing their dreams. That's my mission. So I am a proud mom of 3 daughters. I have a almost 21-year-old daughter. Woo! Oh my gosh!
Woo!
And then my younger 2 are 10 and 7, and very proud of them. And what I love about my journey and where I've come from is that I started this journey, I would say in high school, honestly, of just loving personal growth, but also loving to help people. And where I am right now in this journey is that I'm actually doing the things that I saw myself doing in high school, but kind of got off of that journey. It felt like a little bit, really just know though that now that was just part of what was supposed to be. So yeah, so happy to be here and just.
You knew you wanted to do speaking and coaching in high school.
I didn't know it was coaching, but I knew speaking for sure. Yes, we had a motivational speaker in high school, and I just remember being like, I want to do that. I don't know why, but it was just planted in me. And I've always loved helping people. And as time went on, I knew that it was going to be women. There was some passion there about women. And so I just know I'm at the perfect place.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Cool. How many people watching knew that you knew this feeling when you were a kid? This is what you wanted to be doing. Or maybe you have this dream and you haven't really realized it yet, but you knew back then.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know for me, like I remember doing some ideal client thing back in the day, and it was like, so what did you do in high school? My first job in high school, I don't even know where you are anymore. Okay, where are you? I just shared it all over. In high school, I worked at the grocery store as a bagger at the grocery store.
I did that too.
1 day a week. What?
I did that too.
Yeah, awesome. We were the besties. And I remember like taking the people, like the moms, I had my regulars every Saturday and I would take their groceries out because you'd be like, would you like help out to your car? Right? Did you do that too?
Yep.
And then I would like counsel them and like hear all about their stories and their husbands and their kids. And here I am. I mean, doing it in a different way, but I was doing that then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, cool. So that's what you're doing. And then, but you've been speaking, like, I know you're in Speak Your Way to Success program, but you've been using speaking in your business for years, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just, the primary purpose really for joining Speak Your Way to Success was because I wanted to do more and I wanted to get better. And, I wanted to increase the frequency at which I was doing it. And just, I wanted to feel more confident, really honestly, in the delivery. I always felt like I feel like I've gotten good results, but I also felt like the selling part never felt good. It always felt like the transition from my content to the actual offer has always felt really awkward and funky. And so that was really what I was looking for, was getting confident with the whole thing.
Right. And so how many speaking gigs were you doing like a year or a month before?
Because before it was just a handful. It was just, I felt like, I think because my confidence just wasn't there to really go out and get them. And so I would take opportunities as they came, but I wasn't really searching for them. And I think the beauty now is I'm more confident. I'm asking for them. They're coming to me, just without me really doing a lot of extra searching. So it's nice.
Okay, cool. So yeah, because how many have you done since we started working together? It seems like
3, I think.
Yeah.
I think 3. Yeah.
What have some of the results been for you?
Well, definitely, I would say, I think if I had to say results, results for me personally is just getting up and being able to deliver the content and feel really good. So that is like one aspect of it. But I also feel like that transfers so much into the believability of the people in the audience, right? That I can communicate what I want to communicate with them. And so definitely have had great responses to, the breakthrough sessions that I offer and people scheduling those appointments. And then
content and the offer, and you're offering breakthrough sessions, that's gotten easier for you?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's felt so much more genuine and authentic, and not sort of like, oh, and by the way, here's this, right? I know this is what you actually want.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Can help you. and here it is. And so, yeah, I feel like it's such a major shift around that, not feeling so awkward. And I think just partly because of what you've taught in terms of how to present the material, you're not just all of a sudden offering them something that they weren't curious about. Because I do believe if we're talking to our ideal client, right, they want it. So yeah. And then I've gotten new clients from that too. So I haven't tracked that exactly, but I want to say it's been 4 or 5 at least from the speaking.
Oh, wow. Oh, I have chills. That's amazing. So you're right. So you're speaking to them. You're not being all wonky and weird and being like, oh, so now do you want this weird program I have? Like now you're just like, you want it and here's how you can get it.
Right. Yes.
There's way more confidence and conviction and authority and certainty when you're making that offer.
Right.
And I think you've had some good breakthroughs even around I remember like going through your system because it felt like your message wasn't, well, I guess what were you struggling with in your business?
No, there's definitely an element of that. Like I kind of felt like when I would speak, I was just constantly changing what I was speaking about to whatever the organizer wanted me to talk about, and then trying to pitch from that, right? So I'm trying to offer something from that. And that's, I think, why it has felt so awkward and challenging. And so having the clarity around what I'm actually speaking about being, this is part of my program and the results that you can get, it feels more authentic. And I feel like I can speak from a better place of power, right? Not that I'm not able to talk about all the things that I've talked about and I don't have experience with them, but to translate it into the work that I'm doing with clients, it was just a difference. So that was a pretty big shift for sure.
So what I think I hear you saying is that before you would tailor whatever and you would kind of like, oh, I'll do my song and dance in front of you this way, but you weren't being authentic to you. And what, like, this is coming from your center. This is my message. This is the transformation I provide. This is my ideal client. And now you have that nailed down. This is who I am. And you can bring all of who you are from your center to all these different speaking gigs. And it's the same message.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like I did one last Friday. And I remember, I told you that I was feeling kind of unprepared just because I didn't really have the time with my family circumstances to practice. And I really like to be able to say it a few times beforehand. Yeah. And I just really didn't have the chance to do that. And it was just so awesome because I think besides the fact that I just was like, okay, God, speak through me, I just knew that I knew the material because it was what I do, right? As opposed to, I had to adjust this to be what she wanted me to talk about. And so now I feel like I have to stay on this structure, right? That's not mine. Yes. So yeah, I feel like once I was able to really own that as like, this is me and what I do and how I help. And that it came so much easier.
And did your signature system shift, or has it? I feel like it shifted in a lot of ways, and it was refined since working together.
Like, and I think it's just easier to communicate.
Yeah.
Right. These are the results.
Yeah, because it seems like before, like your message was more like, what was your message before? It was more like self-care for moms.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
And now tell us a little bit about the Purdy Your Image system.
Yeah. So now it's about really just getting clear about, who you are and what you want, and really learning to use your voice to ask for what you want and experience the life that you desire. Self-care is definitely in that. And that's part of how we get to the place of asking for what you want, receiving it, stepping into the receiving element of that. But then also like stepping into your dreams, that's something that I'm really passionate about. I think especially just because, I mentioned earlier that I saw myself talking and speaking from a very young age, but something I always wanted to do was model. Mm-hmm. And I recently stepped into that just a little over a year ago. And part of that was, I realized I was like really motivating and encouraging and helping other women step into that, but I hadn't done that one piece myself. Yeah. And there's just so much power, when we can step into and really believe that we can have, I think my biggest, if I had to say like my message is you can be a mom, but you can also live your dream together. It doesn't have to be an either or, and you don't have to wait until your kids are grown and out of the house to have what you want.
Yeah, I love that.
you can do it now. It's just we might have to change the way we see and perceive things to do that.
I love that. And the dream, oh, I'm getting the dream, the fact that you're living your dreams and then now you're in alignment and you're doing it too, it gives other people courage. Like, what is that childhood dream you had? If your dream was to do this modeling, which you're doing and stepping into, and there's like, you know, someone might say, well, you're a mom or you're too your age or this or that, but it's like, hello, you're making it happen.
Yes.
So inspiring. Well, I want to hear all about that.
Totally could have used my age as a reason to not become a model, for sure. Oh my gosh. That could have been.
Are you doing commercials or what are you doing?
So it kind of depends. So last summer I did a job for a water park. I had a husband and a son at that, and sometimes it's voiceovers. It kind of just depends on what the agency has, you know, for me to go audition for and what you get selected for. So it's just, yeah, it kind of just depends on all of those things. All of it's fun.
That sounds like really fun money. Like,
it is. Yeah.
Just fun and easy. Yeah. Like you just gonna like, I'm sure it's work, you know, and time, but you know, that's cool. I love that. So, okay, that's cool. So I know you had a massive breakthrough around your ideal client.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because I talked to a new client yesterday and she was like, I hate the ideal client avatar. I've done it a million times. I don't want to do it. I hate it. Like, how many of us have done this, right? And that idea is that we have this client avatar, this client character profile in our mind. And of course, I make you do that because your ideal client will make you rich. And if you're missing your ideal client even by like 3 centimeters, you're gonna blow it, and your message won't land, and you won't get clients. And I remember this. I had a huge breakthrough because for me, and that's why I'm so adamant about my clients doing this. And I'll share with you guys, what my breakthrough was after Denise shows. So Denise, what was this wake up call around it?
Yeah. So I had kind of skipped over that week, you know, that material, and just thought, okay, I've already done that. I know my ideal clients. But as I was working on just formulating my presentation, the talk, I felt like I was having a little bit of trouble. And so I just thought I had this like voice inside, you know, go back and do the ideal client, and kind of heard that a few times. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back and do this. And once I got into it, I was just astounded at how different it was, number one. And the ideas and the concepts that had never been presented to me before that really caused me to think. And the one exercise, you know, where we write 100 different things, I was so into that. Like, I did not want to stop because I finally got it. Like, oh my gosh, my ideal client does have all of this. Right? There are all of these things that make up who she is. And it gave me, I mean, clarity beyond clarity, I feel like, in terms of really seeing who she is and all of the things that are going on for her and where I can help her. It was so big, so big.
So like it just shifted a millimeter. And then how did that feel in your heart to know this is my ideal client, like land on the ideal client versus kind of trying to change yourself to be for everyone else, for every different speaking gig?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a sense of peace about it, honestly, you know, that I can create what I'm creating. I can walk into a room and I know I know who I'm talking to.
Yes.
Even if, yes, I'm talking at everyone, but I know who I'm talking to. I know how to talk her language. Yeah, there's so many things. And so I think it's just, there's greater peace about it, and the clarity. I think it just allows me to have that direction.
And did that shift for you when you did your recent talk? Like, did you get more strategy sessions or have a better connection or feel more confident by knowing this?
Yes, absolutely. For sure. Because especially that talk, I knew I walked in, you know, so this talk was for a group of travel agents who are mostly older people. Because one of the ways they travel is by being a travel agent, right? They get their travel for free. And so I kind of knew that going in, but I also knew there were ideal clients in the room. And so I was just, I knew, like I said, I was talking to everyone. I was very passionate about my message because I really didn't want them all to hear it, but I also knew I wanted it to land with my ideal client. Like I wanted them to hang on to it. And so many, just even personal comments afterwards, the women that came up to me, they were all my ideal clients. The women that approached me after, they were all like right in that line. So it was perfect. Perfect.
So you were talking, even though they're general, you're there, but you're nailing it down. And so So when you guys are doing a video, when you're doing a video, when you're doing a talk, when you're doing a webinar, when you're writing your sales page, when you're writing your newsletters, everything is like personal. Writing it straight to her. You can actually take a picture of your ideal client. Like a lot of times when I've done video, I will bring in a picture of my client. Now, if your ideal client is a collage, she's a mix of all these different characteristics from different clients, right? Like you love this about Denise, you love this about Sally, you love this about Jane, and you bring it in and you create this ideal client profile in your mind. But skipping this, like if you don't know her, you're toast. If you're guessing, or you're like, I remember when I first started my business a million years ago, I'd be like, I'm writing my newsletter and I know my aunt's on there, my dad's on there, my friend from high school's on there. Oh yeah, there's that woman I met at my speaking gig, she's on there. And I'd be like, what do I write to all these people? So when you're like, bam, boom. And so when you're identifying your ideal client, sometimes you will be polarizing, right? I'm sure like those older men in your talk were like, what is she talking about? And sometimes you actually like, haters are good. I mean, right? We want people, not that I want you guys to have haters. I don't really have haters yet that I know about. Although someone did diss me on my hair. And I was like, you are so right. My hair is such a struggle. She wrote on my video, I've never had it. She wrote on my video, nailing hair is definitely not her niche. Anyway, so you want to polarize people, but you want to speak directly to the heart and the mind of the ideal client. So you need to know your ideal client's money story, their faith story. Like I'm attracting clients now who are really, really Christian. And they are like not into the fact that I, use numerology, or I had this, tons of yoga. I studied yoga for all these years and chakras, and I did all this stuff. They're like, no, this isn't going to fly. Like you're into shamanism. I'm like, I'm not a shaman, but I've worked with clients. So, but my ideal client is spiritual, and I love working with Christian people too, because that's the path I'm on. So your ideal client as well is a version of you, right? So as I've evolved, like now I've become a Christian. I'm doing Christian church the last year and a half. Now I'm getting all these Christian people, or I'm getting people that were really Christian and now they're turning into New Age, right? So it's interesting. But your ideal client is a version of you. You're in third grade, they are in first grade. And the biggest shift I had years ago was when I realized, because I had written this book called like End Your Money Drama and Get Off the Feast or Famine Roller Coaster. And I was getting people on, coming, being like, I have $36 too. Can I work with you? But my money story wasn't like that. I grew up with money. I grew up with having all this abundance and opportunity and, going to a private Catholic school and, travel and you're abroad. Like that wasn't my story. So, but I was saying stuff like I only have $36 because I created drama. So when I got clear that my client actually has money or has had some money, or maybe she has money drama like I did, but it has nothing to do with money. It's about childhood issues. And I got clear that my client has an Amex. Like what? Like my client uses Amex and is not afraid to use, if she wants to, if she doesn't have the cash, but she's willing to use credit as a tool. And that's what I've used for my business. So you need to get, like a lot of you guys, I'll coach and you'll be like, well, I'm worried that they don't have money. And I'm like, well, you had money, you're working with me, you've invested. Why wouldn't they invest? So you want to go deep into your client's money story. You want to go deep into their spiritual, what is their relationship, what is their food, their body, their kids, all these pieces. So the deeper, what was like the biggest thing that clicked for you that was just a few millimeters different than before? You remember?
I think it was really just evaluating some of the questions that you asked, not going deep enough. Really, I think I have just been hitting the surface, and just in comparison, and other programs that I've done and other worksheets that I've done, it's like the worksheets are a page or two, right? So think of a couple of your favorite clients. Like I remember this one. Think of a couple of your favorite clients, and what are their similarities? What did you like? And so it's just very surface, right? Whereas these questions, they were deep. I mean, like I had to think about it and consider, like, is this my ideal client or not? Not just, oh, it's this is what's out. This is what, you know, is being
Right.
expressed. So yeah, I think just the depth for sure made a difference.
And also like your ideal client is really basically you. Like
Mhm.
all of your secret fears or your worries or your desires, like your ideal client's desires are possibly to be a speaker and to be model or to use, like have something, a childhood dream to manifest it, right?
Mhm. Yeah, and I think I would say I feel like that's why writing out the 100 points
Mm-hmm.
became easy, but also freeing, because it was
Yes.
almost like I was setting myself free, truthfully.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of elements. So even though I have looked at and I know, you know, that our clients are a reflection of us, and through my career, my clients have always been a reflection of either what I'm just getting out of or where I've been, right? Like there's always been that element. When I really looked at this, there were elements that I had not considered, um, that I feel like I've healed from, things that I've healed from, things that I have allowed myself to experience, or what I've been preventing myself from, you know, just really getting into, again, the deeper stuff that we lie to ourselves about, or we try to pretend isn't there. And so it gave me that opportunity to just like say, my ideal client, she wants this. Well, I want that,
Yes.
you know, like, and claim it.
Yes. And I love it. I also hear you saying like it's being more of you. Like
Yeah.
the being part is like just being, owning the desire and being vulnerable enough to allow yourself to receive.
Yes.
And honestly, when you nail down your ideal client, it makes your life so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, working with you, Denise, is such a joy because you're like, bam, I'm on it. We're doing our audio clips because we're both audio and like we love that. And I'm like, bam, bam, and then you do it and then you get results. Like it's just such a, it literally is so freeing because I know if you've been in business a while, we've all had clients that were like, like so hard, right?
Yes.
But the more you're really yourself, then the more you're like, this person is like me, but you know, it's just such a great feeling. So I would just suggest 100% saying no to people who are not ideal clients. And we do that on the phone with people. I'll be like, you know what, this isn't going to work for you, but I've got this other, you know, home study course that might be a better fit for you, or let me refer you to Jane or whoever, and because they're not a fit, because we deserve, our energy is so precious. We deserve to only work with the most ideal clients.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it's just like fun. It's like literally like being with your friends. Like I would hang out with all of you guys that are in Speak Your Way to Success. I would just like hang out with you on the weekend, which is, I wish you all lived here in Utah. It would be way fun.
I know.
I know. So cool. So what is like the thing that you're most proud about that you've accomplished over the last couple months?
Um, I think I would say I feel like it's the forward movement, right? And the feeling confident to say yes to opportunities to speak, but also being able to say, this is what I can speak on, right? Like not taking it because, oh, I haven't done one in a while, I really should do one, but looking at it and saying, yes, I'll speak, but this is what I'll speak on.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
think I feel like that. And then because I feel like within that, that's what's coming to me. You know, so it's again about claiming my desires and like being okay with all of that. And then, right, we're kind of asking for that. So that's what's coming. And so it's been, I feel like I'm proud of that. And just, again, the forward movement, not the stalls in between.
Cool. So what I hear you saying is now you're owning your expert status.
Yes.
You're totally like, this is who I am. This is my Purdy your image system. This is how I work. This is who my ideal client is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you are that beacon of light, or that you're like howling for your tribe, or you're like that, you are that answered prayer for them.
Yeah.
Way more than just trying to be everything for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels so good. It's like when you have a system and you have your ideal client, even if people like want a piece of you or they want to work with you, you could be like, no, this is what I do and what I work with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know what it is? It's, you're now actually a business person. You're not just like some hustler, like just trying to like, you know, catch a bone here. You're literally like badass, empowered female CEO boss.
Yes.
And
like, I think if I were to say just, I mean, you know, for people that are listening and come across is I have gotten help with speaking before, but not once has it been about speaking about your program or your system.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned and I've heard you should use client testimonials and all of that, but it's never been, this is your program and this is how you insert that into your talk. And so for me, that was a pretty big shift too. And I think that that's why, like, bringing all of that together, it feels whole, right? It feels like, oh, this is it.
Yeah. I love that. So like you'd done speaking, but it was just, just to speak and make it inspire or motivate. But now you're like speaking to position and preview your program and enroll clients to work with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally different. And that's like the whole point of the program is so that you can attract clients.
Yeah.
And so what has been, so you've had 3 talks, you've gotten 4 to 5 new clients. Did you raise your rates and how did your sales conversations go? Did you have any breakthroughs around that?
Yeah. Honestly, I would say with the sales conversations, that is something I've had so much training in. And what I came around to was, I know how to do it. For me personally, I knew how to do it. I just needed to follow my gut and my system, like just for me. I've used a lot of the tools together, but when I try too hard to conform to one process, it's become challenging, like, because it's not me, right? I'm not being my authentic self. So I feel like because of that, my conversations went really well and they feel good. But I don't think that that's not a reason to look at the sales process, right? I'm always, and this is kind of where the way I look at it is, I'm always going to look at new ways and then just extrapolating, how can I make this work for me, right? How can I fit this into the system that I'm using? What feels good for me? So I think that that's probably the biggest thing in terms of the conversations is just, how can I take what you've taught, what you're teaching, and make parts of it or all of it work for me? So I do feel like knowing that about myself, that's helped with those conversations.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I've done so many sales trainings over the years, and it's just about really practicing and really getting into it and finding your own rhythm.
Yeah. But
You
so
know,
I
yeah.
feel like the thing though too about that is having more speaking opportunities gives you the opportunity to practice more, right? And I think that in itself says enough, because if you're not having enough speaking opportunities and you're not getting enough people to have those conversations, then every time you have a conversation, it's a new experience as opposed to being able to learn from one into the next, right? So I think that says a lot about just if we learn how to have more, when we learn how to have more speaking opportunities, that part just comes naturally as a result.
True. So what you're saying is now that you have more speaking opportunities and you're totally the expert on your status or on your program, you're getting more volume of strategy sessions because you're not doing much online, are you? It's all pretty much speaking. You're not doing like online marketing and online calls or anything like that to get strategy sessions.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yours is all in person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, cool. So what have been your favorite parts about working with me and Speak Your Way to Success and the other women in the group?
Yeah, I feel like what I love is, well, the expert level of the women that are in the group, right? That they're all, we're all working towards a common goal, which is to improve our process, number one, but obviously in our lives and our business. So I love that. I love getting the conversations that we have, just being able live in the group and also then just the one-on-one aspect and really, for me, what I knew I needed in this program was someone to help me pull out what I didn't know I needed to pull out. And so that for me has been really, really beneficial. And probably one of my favorite parts, just because that's what I wanted, right? That's really what I wanted out of the program. Obviously, I wanted to become a better speaker, but I knew in order to do that, I needed someone to help me extrapolate what I wasn't pulling out myself.
So, and this is interesting because this is what a lot of people that come on and want to work with me, this is exactly what they want too. So how would you say, am I good at that? Or, I know I am, but I want to hear from you. Like, because I love it. That's my passion, is pulling it out. So like in what way, because I know you've invested a lot in coaching and you still do with even other coaches. So what has been different for you with the help, getting my help pulling it out?
Well, I think because it's your expertise, you know, that this is the thing you do, that you have that ear for listening, and you have, you're just able to ask the right questions that cause the thought, right? And I think that for me, especially in the conversation we had about my program and really kind of drawing that out, was I hadn't seen even my own experience as part of my program, even though it was what I was teaching, what I was doing. I hadn't really put it into that context, right? I hadn't pulled it together and really made it a more formal system. So, so I think your ability to just dive in and like just needle in, right? You're listening for those cues. And I think that has been the thing.
Yes, I love it because I really go in and I'm like, hear your story, and I'm like, okay, well, is that landing? That's not landing, and why is it going to land? And then for you, like, I really wanted to go to the bad mom.
I know. Right. Yes. You never know. I might still. I just have to. Yes. You never know.
Like sometimes I love my ideas more than the clients love my ideas, or they don't run with it yet. But I'm still holding out for the mom archetypes and the bad moms. You know, like that bad mom's profile, because that's like kind of the client that you're working with. But it's also the dreams and also the voice too, helping them. So that's different than just being a bad mom.
Right.
Being a good mom. Why don't they make a movie called Bad Dads? Like, like, remember, like in that movie, if you guys haven't seen it, then you're probably not a mom. But if you are a mom, you have to go see this movie called Bad Moms. But I loved it when like she was like sulking, and they're like, she's like, please, the girls come over and they say, please turn off 12 Years a Slave. Because it's kind of like, that's what we are not slaves by any means, but like we can go into that archetype of give, 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 and it's all about the kids, and we sacrifice everything. Ah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So and I think what's so great about that movie is I can't imagine that there's a female out there that doesn't fit a role, right? That's played in that movie in some capacity. And I think that that's why it's a great movie to watch and enjoy, just and laugh, right? Because
I literally had like a 6-pack of abs.
I mean, it was hilarious. Yes, I watched it with some friends, and it was, yes, by far, it's been the funniest movie that I've been able to. And I think it's, you know, we can associate with a lot of different movies, right? We can get emotional, but that one, I was like, you're living the movie, right? You're in.
Oh my goodness. I know. I was like, my kids are always like, Bad Moms, let's watch Bad Moms. I'm like, no, it's not appropriate for you. You're not watching Bad Moms.
Not at all.
No, you're not watching. Like the mom bra. Oh, hilarious. Okay. So, Denise, did you do the guide? I mean, you did the guidebooks, but have you done the audios and or the videos? And like what part of this program have you personally consumed? Because I'm curious, everyone has different learning styles.
Yeah, you know what? It's been both. It's really been both. So I listen to the audio portion when I'm in the car.
Nice.
Driving and just kind of listening and kind of really just kind of getting the thought processes going, right? Like, where am I with this? And do I want to change that? Just all of that. But then I really use the guidebooks to come back, and like, that's where I'm diving in and I'm writing. I'm like, I feel like that's where I personally get clear with myself.
Yes.
I'm getting it out of my head onto paper. And so for me, it's really been both. Being able to have both has been really beneficial, and I'm using both.
Okay, good student. No wonder you're doing so great. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's important because I love the audio, and then the guidebooks are how would you describe the guidebooks to people? Because people are like, guidebooks, I don't want to have to sit and do a guidebook. So
yeah, you know, I see it as, honestly, I'm going to throw this out there and just say, for me, and I think for any female that is hiring you to help them, is this, it's a part of doing it is just a part of self-care, because for me, self-care isn't going to get a manicure or massage. It's really living out your dreams and expressing yourself the way you're meant to be expressed. And if the guidebook is going to help you do that, then do it, because then you're taking care of yourself in a way that you want. Right. And so I don't feel like for me, it's very thought provoking. I mean, it really gets my mind. I honestly, I feel like it's just, I use this word a lot, but they provide a little more clarity.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's because we're getting clear with ourselves, right? You're giving us the opportunity to listen, but when we're writing and we're going through the guidebook, you're getting clear with yourself what it is you actually want to articulate or express and put out.
Which is really important because like at the end of the day, you are your own CEO and you're not always going to have Amanda Moxley on, speed dial to help you do stuff. So it's like, this is an internal process. And I create the guidebooks because they're like, almost like a journal. It's a cathartic experience.
Yeah.
Walking through these questions and these points. And then the beauty is you can send them to me. Send me your seminar story. And I loved reading your seminar story. I remember helping whittle down your seminar story because you went way back. So now we've like collapsed that timeline and we're dealing with just a shorter period.
Yeah.
But it's so healing to go through the guidebook. So I love that. So what's next for you? Like, what do you have in store and what are you offering? What can you share with us?
Yeah, so one of the things I love working with women, individually, but one of the things that I am working on is a group program, a little more specifically for women in business, because I feel like between the programs that I've done and the coaches that I've hired to help me get to where I am, and through just networking and different things, I'm just continually seeing the mistakes women are making in their business. And so I'm working on a group program for women in business to really, and it's going to help them in their life too, of course, right? Because we just know that any coaching is going to be applicable to any part of your life, including your business. But specifically, what are the beliefs that you have to get rid of to have the life and the business that you want? Kind of going back to being a mom and living out your dreams. If your dream is to have a wildly crazy successful business, but you feel held back because you're a mom, like you got to get over that belief, right? So I want to go through some of those things and how do we have the life we want while we're still a mom, right? So, so what are the beliefs we need to let go of? What are the beliefs we need to have? And then I'm inserting some networking and tips in there because I've been doing quite a bit of networking since I started my business, and I just constantly see women sabotaging themselves the moment they stand up and open their mouth to talk about their business, and just really like, stop that because you're giving away your power. And I know it comes from a place of not having self-esteem and self-confidence. So my program, I want to bring all of that together into a group, and partly the group because there's so much power in group, right? There for so many reasons. The lessons we can learn from other people, the collaboration, the support, like all of that, bringing all of that together, I'm super excited about.
Yeah, I love that. Cool. So how can we find out more about you? And I think you have a free gift on your website.
Yeah. So on my website, I have a 3-day challenge. It's not really a challenge, but more of a chaos to clarity is really what I call it. So a lot of women, they're out there trying to super mom. Their lives are chaos. And so it's just a 3-day series that you'll receive that really helps you walk through how to get, rid of the chaos. What do you need to do to eliminate the chaos? So you can get that at my website, Denise, and through there as well, or on Facebook. I'm happy to,
it kind of cut out. Denise, what?
DenisePurdy.com.
Okay, easy. And it's spelled out.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Cool. And then on Facebook too, I'm happy to, have conversations back and forth on there if that's the best place. So
cool. How long have you been in business?
A little over 4 years.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Well, you are so successful and now you're doing your modeling too. So what is your dream for your modeling?
It's so fun. So I have, this is something I actually teach my clients to do. So this is like a freebie here today, I guess you might say. So I kind of have a 5-year goal, vision written on a piece of paper, and I have it laminated and it's in my shower. And
I love it.
Yeah. And on the other side of that is the picture of my vision board. So I have my vision board right here at my desk, but then I took a picture of it and I blew it up and I laminated that. So it's like double-sided. So some mornings when I'm in the shower, I'm meditating on my vision board, and other mornings I'm reading through this 5-year vision. And so my 5-year vision is that my younger girls, and if my oldest daughter decides she wants to join us, but that they're modeling with me, I think that would be so fun.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter is quite they're actually both characters in their own way. But one of the things I think I would say about that is, and this is just a tip to the women out there that want to live their dreams, is it does require you to overcome beliefs that you have.
Yeah.
And for me, becoming a model has been exciting, but honestly, just walking into the modeling agency to see if I qualified and leaving there was more exciting than anything I've ever done.
Cool.
But the whole process is really a growth process, you know? So for the moms out there that want to live, you know, their dreams, you're going to grow into the person that you have the desire to grow into in that process. And I think that that's why I want my daughters to model with me, is because every single opportunity is a growth process for me. I have to overcome some stupid belief that I have.
Totally.
And I want my kids to have that experience where they're learning to overcome, you know, that. And so, yeah, I feel like in that realm, but I want to use that as my platform for this message. Honestly, it's not about, I've discovered that it's not about being on a magazine or any of that. It's actually about just getting the experience to be on stage and share my message.
Right. And help them, because it is everything. Even being obviously being an entrepreneur is a growth process, starting your own business, whatever dream you have. And it's about overcoming those limiting beliefs and creating new empowered beliefs.
Yeah.
I love it. My son is like extremely handsome, and my dad's client or whatever owns a modeling agency, and he's like, bring him to New York. I'll get him to work tomorrow. But my son is not interested. But when he was a baby, we were like, he could be our cash cow. But you know, we can't do that to him. But
yeah.
But I thought, you know, in the moment, because he's just too cute. He's so handsome. Like, and those are like, that's a gift when you're that attractive. Like, it's a gift that God gave you to use, you know? Okay, I am loving this 5-year goal in the shower, laminated. Like, that is like, we all know as moms, that is our time. Like that's like, or you put, this is awesome. Because I don't have any, I mean, sometimes they walk in if I don't lock it. So I love this laminated, and the vision board too. Do you have can I see a visual of your vision board?
Yeah.
Please.
So,
I love it.
And actually, I need to update it because a couple things have come on here. So this is my house that I'm manifesting.
Oh, and you guys are building that, right?
Well, we're not building. We're just sort of in the process of figuring out, are we going to build? Are we going to buy? Like, what do we want to do? So we've been house hunting and, you know, trying to decide. But the car of my dreams I bought in November, so that's here. So I need to. This is the Cadillac Escalade. I didn't buy the Escalade, but I bought its cousin. So. And then a Disney Family Vacation, that's been on here, but we just did that this summer. So I need to update it.
Yeah, all your dreams come true.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, and for me, a lot of it's just about, it's not about the things, which is why I don't have a lot of things on here. It's just about who I want to be, which is why I have a lot of words.
Yeah. So you have, because that's a pretty big, is that?
Yeah, so I just took a picture of it, and then I printed it on the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I have this thing in my shower, and I can choose to meditate on a word while I'm in there, or, you know, imagine myself in this house, or the car, or the trip, right? Any of that stuff.
And it totally works. And does your husband have his vision board in there, or do you have separate showers?
No, we don't. He's funny about it. I don't even, we've had this conversation. He's always like, my vision's up here. So it's good.
I know. Men are different. Some men are different.
Yeah. And he's living his dream. It's perfect. So it works.
Okay. That is such a good, free, juicy tip. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We want to do that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we can find you in this challenge on denisepurdy.com.
Yes.
In the chaos to calm for mom.
Yes, clarity. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome, Denise. Any last things that you would want to share with us?
I just think, honestly, if you are someone out there that you have a dream and a desire, if you want to speak, talk to Amanda for sure. But if you have a dream and a desire to do anything bigger with your life, you got to step into it, because that's what you're here for. I
know. I'm just getting this whole thing right now lately that we have one life.
Yes.
I used to believe in reincarnation, and now as I'm moving more into Christianity, I'm like, wait a minute. We have one life, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And and the viewers, my father-in-law 2 weeks ago today passed away. And I mean, for me, that's even more just at the forefront, right? That every day can be your last day. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it's just given me a whole different perspective. I know that we've all experienced death in, our families. And I do think it depends on how close you are and how it hits you. But for sure, this is just oh my gosh, we only have one life.
Yes.
And every day you've got to find a way to make it the best day.
Totally. Amen. And like I heard a stat actually that 156,000 people die a day.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just a part of life. We don't hear it on the news. Well, if you ever watched it, but you know, 156,000. So it's like it's coming. And so exactly live your life. You have a desire and a dream, and um really the time is now. I love that. And condolences to your family. That is so sad, but I know that he was suffering and it's a better.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
just hard though. Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful. Woo! All right. I totally agree. What a great deal. I hope this was helpful for you guys watching about identifying your ideal client, zoning in to the T, like really giving yourself permission to only work with people that light you up, that doesn't even feel like work. You're like, is this work? Like this, I can't wait for Monday morning because I get to go to work. And it just let it be easy, but really honor yourself and allow yourself to really give yourself permission. If you need help with that, that is truly my gift, is pulling it out. I love doing it. I've been doing it since I was a child, hearing people's stories, listening for the gold, but I also have a really good marketing and business side too. So I'm really good at being like, no, that won't sell or that will sell. So you guys can go to amandamoxley.com/Moxley method, and you can see the all new sales page for the Speak Your Way to Success program. You can also check that out. You can also book a call with me or one of my breakthrough angels at amandamoxley.com/apply, and you can apply for a session there. And if this feels, reach out to us and, comment on this and follow Denise, and we'll see you next week. Next week, the time is shifting. In fact, moving forward, the time is going to be 12 Mountain and 2 Eastern. And next week, I have a really incredible client coming on, and named Tori Washington, and she's going to share her success with you, which has been phenomenal. So congrats, Denise, on all your goodness. Keep up the good work.
Bye, everyone.
Talk to you soon. Bye. Bye.